Alright, we're back everyone. My internet just died. So that's a positive sign, I would say. Hopefully, that remains a one-time occurrence. We're back in the lobby. I think Sully is now the lobby host, so that puts him in charge of setting grid and everything as well. Caused a bit more of a delay as well there, but we should be ready to go in a second. Once Sully has double checked that the grid is correct now. And hopefully this time my internet will hold. At least if it doesn't hold, I'm not the lobby host, so the only thing that will happen is the stream dying, but it won't ruin the race for all the drivers. Um, so it wouldn't be, well, I still prefer to have the stream, be working normally, but I'm sure we would survive one Division 2 race without a proper stream. If my internet does keep going. Keep going out, I mean. If it keeps going, that's good. Alright, Sony is done the grid, so we're ready to go. 13 laps of Monza. Maxi on pole position, always, or Floyd alongside him on the front row of the grid. Gabri, Cheeseburger, Pinky, Sean all down at the back. But you've got guys like Sully, like Phantom, like Kuko, who we know are very fast, who've had tough seasons so far, who are starting quite near the front. That's a good opportunity for them to rack up some points and get back in the fight. It's 12 points for a win. So it is definitely valuable to win this race. It's the point system being 12 points for a win, 9 points for P2, 7 points for P3, and then it goes 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 down to P8. So while it's not as many points as a full race, it is, well, still a very valuable amount of points and pretty much almost bang on half the points that you'd get for a normal race. A little bit less. Yeah. Just under half the points you'd get for a normal race. Um, Yeah, Yusuf Bantams as well. I think that's his first race now actually driving. I think he qualified for one and then couldn't get back in after the lobby restart. Um, but now he's in the lobby and we'll get to see him racing. He's starting from the back of the grid since he hasn't completed two races yet. Um, so we'll see how he gets on if he can make his way through the pack. Of course, we've got essentially 40 laps for the guys to do that. The 13 in the sprint, then yeah, it's sort of like a red flag, basically. You just have a new race start, and another 27 laps of a normal Monza race. And Maxi is loading in for a long, long time. It's a bit worrying. And he's gone. Maxi, who would have been starting in pole position, disconnecting from the lobby at probably the worst possible race when to do that. I think he's still in the race at least. I can see his name on the on the pit board, so they didn't kick him out the race. But I don't know if can I invite him? Yes, I can. No, I can't. He's not online. I hope his internet didn't also just go out like mine did. And I don't think I can scroll down far enough to find him here. Nope, I can't. But yeah, he's still on pole position. We're now on the formation lap.
The formation lap gets underway then, and it's going to be interesting today.
So this essentially gives pole position to Floyd. We've got mostly mediums, Cuckoo, Pupdog, Sean and Pinky on the softs. I'll try once more to re-invite Maxi. But as long as he's not online, there's nothing I can do. Yeah, it's not online. Can't invite him. So here they are, lining up on the grid. Maxi's AI on pole position. To his right, always in second place. Sully in third place on the line. And they're gonna head down towards turn 1, and we'll see who comes on top. It's lights out, and away we go. It was a very long wait for the lights to go out there, and of course Floyd is going to win that start against Maxi's AI and take the lead of the race. Aussie with a great start, jumping Sully, and will now take second place, heading down towards turn 1. Pupdog with a great start as well, up into second place, heading to turn 1. Sully down into 10th, had a horrible start, and there's an instant in the back, that is one of the Red Bulls, I believe, Cheeseburger, who's had a collision with someone. Cuckoo's down in dead last, as Phantom and Aussie, the two Saubers, are battling for the cover around there down towards the second chicane. And that is Aussie pulling ahead of Phantom. Gabri and Cuckoo both down at the back. Two Italians at their home race having a bit of a stinker start. Maxi already down to 11th. That is absolute heartbreak for him. Such a great opportunity to be able to start on pole position for the sprint race, and to have it be taken away from you with a disconnect is a real shame for him. So let's have a quick look at the position changes. Pupdog, yeah, up 5 places off the line. Sean up 5 places as well. Yusuf up 4. They all had great starts. Cuckoo down 9. Biggest loser of the start, excluding Maxi, of course, with the AI. Pupdog having a look up the inside of Floyd into the last corner there. Of course, making use of those soft compound tires. They won't be fast for that much longer compared to the mediums. But for the moment, that's an advantage to him. No DRS enabled just yet. He's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way if he wants to get past Floyd down towards turn 1. He's looking at him towards the inside, but I think, yep, it's not going to go for that. Doesn't want to take that much risk. Cuckoo in the pits on the first lap. Might have gotten damage on that starting incident. There's a Williams spun around. That is Floyd for the lead of the race. A Sean Mullen had an incident as well. And just like that, from P1 to P14 he goes. Cuckoo with a retrain will rejoin the race in last place. And Pupdog is now taking the lead of the race ahead of 2 Saubers. As there is a move from Sully on Bobardino. He gets all out of shape. And a nice switchback from Cheeseburger gets him ahead of Bobardino as well. Who of course had to slow down to avoid smashing into Sully, who was significantly slow on the apex of the second half chicane. And Bobardino losing further place there as Bazooka also to such inside. And I think Pinky has a great run. Bobardino, with the one battle he had with Sully, just gets caught offline and keeps losing more and more places. As Cheeseburger gets past Sully, Pinky has gotten past Bobardino. I think now Bobardino is finally settled into a rhythm again and can hopefully hold on to that 10th place at least. For the moment, he's got Gary right behind him though. And you would think Gary's going to want to get through the field as fast as he possibly can, get up towards the front. Right now his closest title rival Sean up in 4th, making up a whole lot of points over him. I'll try again to invite Maxi back in, see if he's online by now. Nope, I can't invite him then. And there's a V-Cup defending the inside, that's Pix. I'm having a look at Sean actually. Down towards the first corner. But no movement at turn 1. And no pit stops yet either. 3 laps into the race. And that's big damage on the on the Red Bull of Yusuf. Oh well, it's one missing end plate, but still, that's good amount of damage. Bazooka getting past Sully. Sully falling backwards in the race so far. Down to P8 now. I do know that Sully has changed to running no assists, which is very commendable. But I think you can see the difference in pace there. that he has when he's running assists compared to not running assists. He's quite a bit slower still, but if he keeps at it, for sure he'll get back to the pace. That's just how it goes when loading no assists. You are slower for a while. Gabri past Bombardino up into the top 10. Bombardino though still with a nose on the inside into Ascari, and Gabri has wing damage as well there, as you can see. And Bombardino aggressively going through on the inside, but gets all out of trap. Throw Ascari. Bazooka has lost 2 places in one go there. Just Sully and Pinky might have had a moment exiting Ascari. Gabri Bombardino once again battling there, and Gabri this time has gotten past. Oh, has he? As Bombardino has a great run through the Parabolica and is back alongside Gabri. But the exit goes towards the Horseman. That's a car in the pit lane. That's Sully from the mediums or into the pit. Same for Bombardino. So those two almost certainly going to Hearts. Aussie takes the lead of the race off Pubdog heading to turn 1. And the top 6 have broken away from the field. Pinky not in DRS range to Cheeseburger. Yeah, but Hearts for both Sully and Bombardino. They're going to come out significantly ahead of Kuko. As Cheeseburger makes a move on Pix. Cover Grande heading into the second chicane, up into the top 5. Fast lap of the race from Kuko. Of course, he has clean air, he has fresh tires. But that wing change and the collision he had in the first corner have lost him so much time. He's going to have a tough time finishing anywhere but last from here. Especially with the race being so short. Don't have that much time to make up for collisions like that. And with a track like Monza as well, you gain so much time being in that DRS train. Makes it even more difficult when you're out on your own to get back towards the train and get back into the race. And that's going to be a tough situation as well for Pinky and downwards from 7 for to try and catch back up to this top 6 train. They might just be gone. Aussie's in the pits, and so is Sean. Early pit stops from both Aussie, I imagine, onto Hearts, and Sean probably mediums. Bazooka in the pits as well. Now, are they going to come out ahead of Sully and Bombardino? He had an undercut on them, but easy going to be enough. They were a bit further behind, so I think Aussie and Sean should still be well clear. Bazooka, of course, was in the battle with them. So here comes Sully, and there's Bazooka. Sean and Aussie are quite some way up the road. Both Sully and Bombardino jump Bazooka. Bombardino has a look up the inside on Sully into turn 1. And they make a bit of contact there, a bit of wheel bang, but all clean, all a nice battle there for the first 2 corners and that chicane. Now heading through Cover Grande. Sully slightly behind, and I think Bombardino is going to pull ahead here. Heading towards the chicane. Covers the inside of the track. Sully looks for the outside, but ends up backing out there. And Bombardino up into 12 for the moment, but of course with the DRS zones coming up, I'm sure Sully can try and come back at him. I think we have a few more cars pitting now. That's Phantom and Cheeseburger both into the pit lane. No, Pubdog, sorry. Phantom... Oh, Cheeseburger staying out. Pinky's in as well now, and he had a reset there on the pit entry. He might have spun the pit lane or something, because his car got teleported. And that's Yusuf being attacked by Floyd heading towards turn 1. And with the DRS, that's a fairly simple overtake for the Williams. Although he does mix the braking point ever so slightly. He still gets the car stopped for the corner, but Yusuf has a chance to come back at him at the exit. Now with the ERS enabled, overtake mode engaged. He's going to try and go around the outside here, but he's out of ERS now. Floyd is a bit more left, so he's going to stay alongside for sure into the chicane. Some wing damage as well on that Red Bull, but with the inside line he has the advantage and he has the position. Aussie has come out in the effective lead of the race. Pubdog and Phantom though in the ERS range to Sean and Aussie. So this battle far from over. We have a top 4 at least. We still have Cheeseburger and Pix out on track. We'll see if they come out in the train. Phantom's gonna have to burn some ES here to make sure he stays in the ES range to Pubdog. His tires are still a bit cold. Same for Pubdog, which could be the saving grace for Phantom. Cheeseburger in the pits now, and Pix follows him in. That leaves Gabri, Yusuf and Bantams. Gabri in as well. Gabri, Yusuf and Floyd, sorry. Floyd is in. Yusuf is still staying out. Going quite long on those mediums, over half the race distance already. Maxi's AI is in. And now with DRS on the main straight, is Sean gonna have a run on Aussie? He doesn't have enough ERS, I think. But he might still try. He's burning some oil take. And going up the inside is Sean. Is he gonna get far enough alongside there on the apex? Not really, but he's still there on the outside now on the exit. All out of shape, all traction loss there. Wheel spin. And Aussie is still side by side, now with better straight line speed through the cover ground there. Sean has turned the ERS off and settles in behind. Cheeseburger has come out right in the fight here, right on the back of Phantom. Picks a bit further back. So that top 6 train has turned into a top 5 train. Of course, Yusuf still yet to pit, so we can count him out. Aussie, Sean, Papdog, Phantom and Cheeseburger in the fight for the win here in the sprint. Oh, Papdog. Late on the brakes. Just about managed to avoid going back of Sean there. That could have been quite detrimental for them both. Wing damage for Papdog possibly and a spin for Sean, but we just about avoided that. Ever so slightly. Let's see, Yusuf, is he finally in this lap? No, he's still staying out. Going unbelievably long on that tire. Not quite sure what the strategy is for him there. Maybe hoping for a safety car, but I mean, it's not impossible, and it could work out quite nicely for him, if there was one now. Sean, this time he is alongside Aussie before the braking zone. He's going to try the outside line though. And they bang wheels all through the corner. They bang wheels at turn 2 as well. Aussie gets pushed out wide. But now with a good run on the exit, Aussie has the inside line for the cover run. They Cheeseburger got the move on Phantom Fox. Sean pulling ahead, and has taken lead of the race as now Aussie's the one going to non-mode, letting him go. Papdog defending aggressively from Cheeseburger, who looks left, looks right to see if there's any gap that he can put his car into. But Papdog defended that brilliantly. And he holds on to 4th place out on track, 3rd place, pit stop cleared. Pix is also caught right back up to the train. That battling costing them a bit of time. Pinky not far off. And Bombolino is with him as well. Gabri not far off, so the race definitely heating up at the end here. We might see everyone down to Gabri. Sonny's not far off either. You might even see everyone down to Sonny in this DRS train right in the end, if it keeps going like this. Although Pinky is completely out of ERS, he burned everything he has to get into DRS range to his teammate Ewek up ahead. Now heading onto the main straight one more time. Yusuf is now finally in the pit lane, and that will drop him all the way into, well, behind Floyd, I guess. And Aussie gaining. Is he gonna have to run into turn 1? He's there. But Sean brakes late enough to not let him get alongside. Although Aussie has a nice switchback opportunity. Gets a bit of dirty on the exit though, and that cost him the traction. Cheeseburger's gotten past Papdog, and he's now up into the top 3. And with the best tires out of anyone, he has a great chance of winning this race there. 2-lap pressure then Aussie and Sean. And those mediums could already be showing signs of wear, especially in the 25%. I think the tire wear is a bit higher than the 50, I think. I don't know for sure. I have to test it, honestly. See if it's increased wear or not. I mean, it should be. But then again, you basically always see soft mediums 25%, so maybe not. Fix all over the back of Phantom here. Better tires on his car. And a good ERS charge. But Phantom has got a good ERS as well. So it won't be easy for Pix. Once more heading into the main straight, Sean about 4/10 clear of Aussie. And they're both going to try and burn some ERS. Cheeseburger looking to get involved in this fight for the win. Is he close enough to have a run on Aussie despite the fact Aussie has DRS himself? I don't think so. And Aussie doesn't want to go for it on Sean. Everyone keeping it calm towards turn 1. No moves happening this time around. Everyone has to recharge their ERS for a bit. I think Cheeseburger tried to have a go at Aussie there, as he's quite low on ERS, but he didn't quite pull it off. Once again having a look towards Lesmo 1. That's more EIS that he's using now that he can't use later on. He might have to be a bit more conservative now and save it for those last couple of laps. Last lap mainly. Because he won't break away. So even if he does take the lead, if you're out of EIS, you're a very vulnerable target on the last lap to be overtaken. He might have a run on Aussie here. Down towards Parabolica. Just about not. Has to back out of it. And once again, that's EIS spent, which is going to be missing down the main straight. He's at 25% now, and that won't be enough to pass Aussie. The good thing for him is that Sean and Aussie are also burning EIS like it's nothing. They won't really opting to save EIS for those last lap attacks. Aussie having a look to the outside of Sean. Oh, and Sean goes very deep, gets all out of shape. And here's Aussie now. If he has a good exit, that should be him taking the lead, surely. Pick's gotten past Phantom for 5th. But Aussie has not got the EIS he needs to get past Sean. And in the end, it all stays the same. Phantom looking to come back at Pix? No. The leading 3 still in the same position. So close together the entire time, but no one able to make a move. Neo and Gabri have now caught up to the train, so it's a 9-car train for the lead here, heading into the last 2.5 laps. Sully and Kuku are a bit further off. They won't be involved in the fight for the points. Top 8 get points here, so one car in the lead DRS train won't even get points. At the moment, that car will be Gabri, down in 9th position. With his championship rival Sean leading the way. A 12-point swing in favor of Sean. All of a sudden, the gap would only be 21 points. So I'm sure Gabri would appreciate Aussie or Cheeseburger to have a go at Sean. While he himself maybe get some more points, Gabri. But once again, looks like a stalemate down towards turn 1. Aussie's out of EIS and Cheeseburger hasn't got the run either. And Sean holds on to the lead once more. They've got one more opportunity down that main straight. Of course, there's plenty of overtaking opportunities around here, just the best one isn't the turn 1. And Cheeseburger, I think now finally has got a run on Aussie. Here he is, and Aussie is boxed in behind Sean. Cheeseburger able to break later on the inside and is up into 2nd place. As Mourinho and Gabri are fighting over 8th. And if Gabri has a good exit here, he can have a look up the inside into lesson 1. He's barely alongside. That's a risky move if he tries to go for it. He's going to keep his nose in there, but has to back out in the end. And I think the wing damage losing him a crucial few thousands there through that corner as he tried to go up the inside. At a medium speed corner like that, you need the downforce, and he's missing that from the damage he picked up earlier. Heading to the last lap now, Cheeseburger is so close behind Sean. Going to non-EIS not now, we're playing DIS games. Sean is non-EIS the whole way, he wants Cheeseburger to pass him before the DIS activation. And they're all slowing down. Cheeseburger has passed him now, heading into the Parabolica. And that will give Sean the EIS as the detection point is right here. But is he too far back from Cheeseburger? Look behind as well, Aussie and Pop Dog having an almighty battle in the straight. And let's have a look now down towards turn 1. Sean, is he close enough to get back ahead of Cheeseburger? They are side by side into turn 1. Sean on the outside, Cheeseburger squeezes him off the track. Did he? I don't know, I couldn't tell, but Sean did go off track. Rejoins the race in 2nd place, and Cheeseburger now 6/10 clear. Pop Dog and Pix still side by side. Phantom and Aussie battling as well for the Coro Grande. And now Pix on the inside of Pop Dog into the chicane. Can he take 3rd place in this race? No. Pop Dog goes clean around his outside. And that's Sean Moore in the gravel there on the exit of the chicane. Phantom Fox has gotten past Pix all of a sudden. Up into 4th place for him. What a last lap. This is battles all throughout the top 9. Look at how close together they all are here. And that's Pinky with a great run on Aussie. Is he going to risk it for that 6th place? He is. Up the inside into Ascari, and that's Pinky up into 6th, and Aussie with a terrible run. Now Bobolinho has a good chance. Up ahead though, Phantom with a run on Pop Dog for the podium. Cheeseburger heading to the last corner, about to take the win home. Phantom around the outside into the Parabolica, has cleared Pop Dog, sorry. And Cheeseburger wins the sprint race in Monza. 12 points going his way. Sean finishes in 2nd place, followed by Phantom. Pop Dog and Pix so close together, but Pop Dog 4th. Pix 5th, Pinky 6th. Gabri brings home 7th place in the end, at least 2 points for him. with Sean in second getting 9 points, so a 7 point swing in favor of Sean, essentially like Sean winning a race and Gabby finishing second. Bobodinho in eighth, getting the last points paying position by 7 thousandths over Aussie. Sully rounds to the top 10. Kuko brings the car home in 11th after a lap 1 collision. Floyd in P12 from second place in the grid, a real shame about that incident that he had as well. Yusuf in 30th, going for the aggressive strategy, hoping for safety car, didn't work out for him. Maxi AI in 14th, that's so unfortunate, that disconnect, that he couldn't complete the race at all. And he was robbed of his pole position. And finally, in P15, um, I forgot, I have Alzheimer's. But here we have our winner, Cheeseburger, the winner of the first ever sprint. Sean Muller in second place. Good points gain in the championship fight. And third place in the podium going to Phantom. And now we have it once again, the full race results, and P15 was Bazooka. I apologize. Um, Damn, what if the entire top 9 separated by 4 seconds? If Cheeseburger were to get a 5-second penalty for something, he would go from winning to being out the points. That's crazy. What a sprint that was here in Monza. We've got another race to go. A full 27 laps of a normal 50% feature race around Monza. Need to wait for Sony to set the grid, and then we can get going again. So, we're back in the lobby. And yeah, like I said, we've got one more race to go. Essentially a lobby reset as well, so everyone gets a fresh allocation of tires, and we get a new roll of the dice in terms of the weather. So there's another chance for rain as well. Just gonna have to wait for Sully to set a new grid, change the race length to 50%, and then we're ready to go. For the shortest race on the F1 calendar in terms of the time you actually spent racing. Of course, it's the highest average speed, so the 305 kilometers you complete in a Formula 1 race go by a lot faster than they would at any other track. The shortest race distance-wise actually is Monaco, since it's the only race that doesn't do 305 kilometers. But still, the Monza race takes less time to complete. Of course, in our case, we're doing a 50% race, and that will be 152.5 kilometers, roughly. I'm sure that's some very interesting facts. I'm trying to do my best to fill the quiet between sprint and main race. Of course, very interesting. I would say as well the group we have set up now for the main race, because it's like bang on the results of the sprint race. So Cheeseburger is going to be on pole position with Sean alongside him. Phantom in third, then Pub Dog, Pix, Pinky, Gabri down in seventh. Bobrodinho, Ossi, and Sully in P10. Then Kuku down in 11th. Floyd, Yusuf, Maxi, if he gets back into the lobby, which I don't think he will be 14th, and Bazooka 15th. So Bazooka 14th. Um, yeah, Maxi's internet seems to be completely gone. I'm not sure. I haven't seen or really heard. He's not. Alright, ready for the race start. Finally. Maxi's gotten back in after all, so they want to wait for him. Um, so now we can give the all go. We've got our 15-car grid for the feature race as well. And 27 laps of Monza to decide who gets to take home the full 25 points, or possibly 26 if you have a fast lap as well. And we'll see if Cheeseburger can repeat his win from the sprint race. So, loading on to it. I'm expecting after yesterday's race that most people are going to try the one stop, but I know that some people um, just had too much wear to even try pull it off. So I do think we'll see some two stop as well in this race. But it was clearly the better strategy yesterday. So I'm interested to see who goes for what. Maxi's loading in for a while again. I really hope we didn't wait like 10 minutes for him. Yep, we waited 10 minutes for him for no reason, and he's got again. But we're on the grid. The drivers can set their strategies, set their fuel load. At least he's still online this time, so I think he didn't fully die, just DC'd. So hopefully he can get back into the race at some point after the start. And now Yusuf is gone. What's going on? It's just only disconnect now. Alright. Invited Yusuf back in as well. No, and they're both back in. Here we are then, on the grid, ready
The
for the
formation
formation
lap
lap
gets underway
once
and
again.
every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their
The
car
grid
is ready for
being
the
the results we
battle
saw
once
earlier.
the lights go
Hard
out.
tires for Cheeseburger, Pub Dog, Bobordino, Yusuf and Maxi. Rest of the field on mediums.
So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be
And the
hoping
game
their
actually suggests
strategies
either
pay
a
off
2
for
or
them
a
in
3
today's
stop.
race. But the question
It's
I'm
not a thing,
asking
it's
is
either
which
a
teams
1 or
have got
2.
it right
Definitely not a
and
3
which
stop.
ones have got it horribly wrong.
So then everyone lining up on the grid for the second time. And we can go down towards turn 1 and see who comes on top. Cheeseburger on the left right now, and now on the right. Sean on the left, the inside line for the first corner. And it's lights out, and away we go. And Cheeseburger with a slow start. It looks like Phantom with a great start has jumped Sean and is looking to jump Cheeseburger as well. Yes, has jumped them both. Phantom takes lead of the race at the start, though. Cheeseburger trying to hang it around the outside through first chicane. But on those hard tires, is he going to have enough traction on the exit? Phantom's got the inside line now for Corrigan. He has the shorter path. And there's a yellow flag. That's Floyd with a collision or spin in the first corner. Phantom and Cheeseburger still side by side, heading into the chicane. And Cheeseburger has pulled ahead and has held on to the lead off the start. But Phantom still, at least after second place, looking to attack once more though. But settles in behind in the end. And then the yellow flag again, this time for Mourinho, who was spun around at the second chicane. A quick look at the position changes. Nothing major, Mourinho and Floyd of course. Ossi and Kuko, Yusuf and Maxi with good starts. But that's the main thing. So Gabri's lost the place off the line. Settling into a rhythm then. And that's Sean a bit far off track there. Probably attracted a bit warning already on the first lap for him, which won't be helping his case. Phantom very close to the back of Cheeseburger. Pablock very close to the back of Sean. Top 4 in general looking very close. Picks under pressure from his teammate Pinky. Everyone's still very close together. Phantom takes a little Grand Prix off Cheeseburger. And Cheeseburger will try and come back up towards turn 1. Solly in the pit lane on the first lap. Guessing he had some wing damage then from some minor collision somewhere at the start. Phantom with the inside line for the second part. But Cheeseburger with a better run coming out of the corner. And he is gonna take the lead back of the take back the lead of the race. Unless Phantom can come back at him in the chicane if he wants to do that. Settles in behind. And everyone stays put. The field all the way down to Maxi in one train, Boborino, Floyd and Sully out of it of course. A nightmare start for Williams. One car spun around the first corner, the other car having to make a pit stop at the end of lap 1. And that's Gabby with a move on Ossi into Ascari. It's a very shallow line, he has quite a speed disadvantage now all the way down to Parabolica as Pinky gets past Pigs. Kuku with a run on Ossi. And Kuku has squeezed him quite a bit at the braking there, and Ossi just about, I think, managing to keep the car on the asphalt and not go straight on. Now Kuku with a run on Gabri. Has burned ERS and Gabri has been caught napping there. As Kuko takes 7th place off his compatriot, but Gabri taps him under braking and Kuko goes straight on. Kuko gets a 3-second time penalty as well for corner cutting, since he skipped the first chicane after the contact with Gabri, and now Gabri with a great run through Curva Grande is going to try and come back at him and take back the position, but Kuko pulls ahead in the end and holds on to 7th. Sure, neither of them will be happy there. Kuku will argue that Gabri forced him off track with that collision, and Gabri will argue that Kuku should give the position back for cracking the corner. By the way, Kuku now staring at the back of Pix, who is struggling to hold on to DRS range to his teammate as Gabri rockets past Kuku, heading to Ascari, and back up to 7th. Phantom is a bit further back from Cheeseburger. He's currently looking to be in control of the race. Pix has lost ERS to his teammate Pinky, the top 5 breaking away from the rest of the field. Although Pinky with none ERS all the way through, making sure his teammate stays with him. And now Kuko will re-overtake Gabri as he has a lot more ERS here, and Gabri can't really do anything about it. Gabri also has wing damage once again. The front left end plate on that Haas missing, which will cost him time all the way throughout the race. Either he has to change into the pit lane or drive the whole race with damage. And now Yusuf and Ossi with a battle through turn 1 there behind Gabri. Yusuf with a better exit out of the chicane comes out ahead. But the DRS train still all the way from 1st to 13th, all the way from Cheeseburger to Maxi. 2 V-carbs seem to be the main cause of the train maybe breaking up. Which would be bad news for Kuko and Gabri. I'm sure they would love to get involved in the fight for the win here at their home Grand Prix. And they're gonna have to get a move on and get past Pix before he loses DRS to Pinky to do that. Cheeseburger, has he broken DRS to Phantom? Has he managed to break from DRS the rest of the field? That would be crazy. At this track of all tracks. But I think he has. Yes, Cheeseburger is over a second ahead of Phantom. Phantom won't have DRS down the main straight. And that is Cheeseburger's chance to just simply drive away with this race. Of course, Phantom now burning ES on the main straight. Cheeseburger, well, that's in similar numbers actually. Ossie's already in the pits. That's definitely a two-stop strategy from him. Going for an aggressive undercut. Kuku gets past Pix for P6. Pix having lost the ES to Pinky. So now Kuku needs to put the foot down and get back towards 1 second to Pinky. And Gabri was overtaken by Yusuf. Now video overtaking him for P8. And Ossie comes out the pit lane just in front of Sully. So Sully definitely still in the fight for some decent result here. And yeah, Cheeseburger has indeed pulled away from the field. Phantom is over a second back. Yusuf gets back past Gabri. That wing damage definitely causing problems for the Haas man. Our championship lead at the moment struggling. Down in 9th. And with Cheeseburger, Sean, Pinky all up there. Kuko driving away from him as well. All of his rivals doing rather well. And he is at the moment scraping a couple of points only. Sean gets past Phantom for second place. We'll have to try and go after Cheeseburger. They could try and work together, of course. Swap the ES down the main straight. And get closer to Cheeseburger that way. Cheeseburger certainly seems the favorite to win this race. He already did so well in the sprint race to come into the field and win from the back of the grid. Well, not the back of the grid, but quite close to the back of the grid. To now also start from pole and break away from the field. As I say that, he's made a mistake, because Sean is all over him now. Cheeseburger just lost a solid second in that middle sector somewhere. And the fight for the win is all back on. Top 6 all in one train from Cheeseburger to Kuku now. Phantom struggling to give the ES to Sean. And he has lost the ES here, over a second back heading to the Parabolica. He's not going to get that back through here. And now that Sean has DRS to Cheeseburger, the gap will only grow. Pup Dog, he's too low on ERS, otherwise he would have had a great chance to overtake Phantom down towards turn 1. This has worked out quite nicely for Sean and Cheeseburger to break away from the rest of the field on their own and have their own little battle for the win, while everybody else is too far behind to get involved. Unless of course they can get that gap back under 1 second before they're too far gone. But as soon as that DRS has been broken, it's quite difficult. Especially, I mean, when Cheeseburger was alone, it was more possible, but now he has Sean to work with, to work together. Although that would require Sean to actually overtake him, which I'm not even sure Sean is looking for, because Cheeseburger seems to be the fast driver right now. His tires, of course, are better at this point as well. The mediums are already definitely slower than the hards in terms of the wear they have at this point. 7 up in the Grand Prix. As Phantom picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. So that's going to cost him even further in this fight for the podium and for the win. As it stands, that 3-second penalty would drop him behind, well, Pinky, as Kuku has a 3-second penalty himself. Sean has barely held onto the EIS of Cheeseburger. Pup Dog once again too low on EIS to pass Phantom. So no movement happening in the top 6. Yusuf and Gabri both in the EIS to each other. Bazooka in the pit lane at the end of lap 7. Or lap 8. I don't know. Either way he's in the pit lane. And switching to some of the hard tires, but I think it's a 2-stop. That seems a bit early to try and go to the end from here. But we'll see if he tries it. Yeah, Ossie and Sully, the two have already made their pit stops. We'll see where Bazooka comes out in relation to them. Bazooka out the pit lane now, and he's significantly ahead of them. Both Ossie and Sully 4 seconds back from Bazooka. Doesn't bode too well for them that they are so far back from the field. I thought they were doing, because Aussie was doing alright before his pit stop, no? So I just assumed they would be, you know, solidly in the midfield after everybody else pits. As Yusuf is making a move on Pix for 7th there. The DRS down towards the Scary, not a whole lot Pix can do there. But he has a good chance to re-overtake him down towards turn 1 on the next DRS straight. Sean is a bit closer to Cheeseburger this time around, not nearly close enough for an overtake, but he doesn't have to worry about losing DRS range now. But he's significantly lower on ERS than Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger seems to be just cruising around right now. Pub Dog, is he close to Phantom? I don't think so. Especially with the low ERS charge he has. It's better than the last few laps. But the gap was a bit too big for him to try and make the overtake. He has a look up the inside, but that would have ended in TS if he sent that. And indeed, Pix re-overtakes Yusuf for 7th position. It's looking like most of the field is going for a one-stopper because they have gone quite long on those mediums already. If you're gonna two-stop, you would have to do it like Aussie, I reckon, and pit yeah, quite early. Maybe not as early as he did, but a lap or two after that. Now we're already on lap 9. If you're gonna go this long on a medium, you might as well keep going for another lap or two to be able to go to the end on hards. Of course, all the hard runners, I'm not really sure what they're doing yet. They could still be on a two-stopper, but if you're starting hards, you're probably not doing a two-stop. Starting hards feels like a one-stop strategy. Just like vibes-based, I don't know. And a 3-second time penalty for Aussie. Receiving multiple track limit warnings. Pub Dog is pretty close to Phantom now. I think we're about to see a swap for 3rd place here. As Phantom doesn't have anything to defend that with. Tuco in the pit lane at the end of the 9th lap. And Pub Dog indeed gets past Phantom for P3 and onto the podium places. Pinky had a look as well, but he's a bit too far back starting the straight. Yellow flag at the last corner. That will be Floyd, who's had an incident there. Modino is getting past Maxi. Gabri is getting past Pixie. There's a 3-way battle down towards Cover Grande between Gabri, Pix, and Yusuf. Gabri is going all the way to the outside, all the way to the garage. On the inside of Yusuf now into the chicane. And Gabri, whoa, Yusuf going off the track there, rejoining, making contact with Gabri and gets switched back by Pix. Thankfully, all drivers coming out of it, no damage to any of the cars. And the races can continue without any problems. Sean has lost the Cheeseburger now. Floyd in the pits as well. Kuko has come out 2 seconds ahead of Bazooka. I'm interested to see now what Kuko's strategy is. If he's going to try and go to the end from here, if he can go to the end from here. And a 3-second time penalty now for Yusuf for receiving multiple warnings. We'll see if the leaders respond to Kuko's pit stop, or if they're going to keep going longer. So Sean, Phantom, Pinky, they are the ones who would have to respond. And Sean is in, and Phantom is in. Pinky is in. Gary also in. Pix is still staying out. Pix, the last one of the medium runners, still going. So all of them, for one stop it's a bit early, for two stop it's way too late. So I think all of these guys are gonna go for the one stop. But it's an early stop for that. They are gonna be in trouble, I think. Just a tire by Kuko comes out between his teammate and everybody else. He just jumped Phantom and Pinky in the pit lane, and Bazooka, Stefan Undercut, also has catapulted himself up the grid, gets out ahead of Pinky and just behind Phantom. Bobardino comes out the pit lane in 14th. He switched to a medium, and that means he's almost certainly doing a two-stop. Since he's medium now, isn't he? Oh no, hard medium. Okay, so he's doing a two-stop for sure. Medium is not going to last 16 laps, but he's only doing 11 on the hard. Bazooka understeering off into the gravel there, and that's already put an end to his chances of getting involved in the fight in that top group, as he's now dropped off the switch to Pinky. And now I reckon Pix will also come into the pit lane. The last one of the medium runners still going. And it looks like, yeah, he's hugging the inside line. And Pix into the pit lane, changing on just the hards to go to the end. Bobbardino getting past Ossi. Yusuf in as well. It's not looking like a two-stop strategy from Yusuf. Quite early pit stop off the hards onto a medium. That won't last to the end. And they have been undercut by Gabri, both Pix and Yusuf. I think Gabri has gotten them out of DRS range. He's still driving with that front wing damage. Pix, Bobbardino, Yusuf, Ossi, Sully, all close together here coming out the pit lane. And a nice battle brewing for P10, the last points paying position in this race. 3 drivers hit the pit, Cheeseburger, Pubdog and Maxi. One would think they're going for one stop, so they're going to go for another 5 laps or so. As Yusuf gets past Bobbardino through the Lesmos. Quite an interesting spot for an overtake to go on the exit of Lesmo 1. Not something you usually see, and now he has a run on Pix as well. Yusuf making his way through the pack as soon as he can. And up into the top 10. Now Bobbardino picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as he ends up on off the track there, being very close behind Pix. I think maybe either taking some avoiding action or just dirty air catching him out, but he was off track ever so slightly. Fast lap of the race now from Pinky as he's on the hunt against Phantom. 2 Ferraris close together, flying in tandem towards a double podium right now. P2 and P3 on the cards for them, and maybe more. They should come out ahead of Cheeseburger, of course, but you will have better tires coming to the end of the race. Bobbardino now back past Yusuf into the first corner and up into P10. Very nice battle this is at the tail end of the points. Pix with a lot of EIS in the tank has a good advantage here. Of course, Bobbardino and Yusuf still have to make another pit stop. Those mediums just won't make the end, so that also is advantage to Pix. And he's the only one in this trade, I think, going to the end, because Ossi won't make it, Sully won't make it, and Bobbardino and Yusuf won't either. So really, he's only racing for pride. He's got them beat on strategy anyway. So they're not going to make up a whole pit stop phase after the next pit stop. At least we think so. There would have to be quite a big pace difference from not so old hards to new mediums, or new hards, whatever they pit onto. Kuko, is he gonna have a run on his teammate Sean? He's burning some overtake. He's not that far back. Might see a swap for P4 out on track here. And we are. Kuko gets past his teammate Sean, doesn't defend, lets him go. Teamwork at Ferrari. Pinky too far back on Phantom to try and do the same. Still stuck behind him, still running in 7th. And a battle for 10th. All remaining calm as well, no one will close enough to have a run on the car ahead. To Ferrari swap again now down towards the Scary. They are now also in DRS range to Maxi. As Sean picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that will hurt his chances of securing that 2nd place in this race. With Sean, Kuko and Phantom all having penalties, Pinky actually is in a great spot here. As Sean has passed Maxi before the DRS activation. And Kuko, what a move, goes clean around the outside through the parabolica. From miles back. Able to brake so much later, and Maxi loses 2 places to the 2 Ferraris down that back straight. Kuko going for it now on Sean, and that's Pinky in the background going for it on Phantom. And both of those overtakes have been completed. Pinky now at the back of Maxi, and if he can get around him nicely with the DRS, he might be able to reconnect the train with the Ferraris. And if he's in that DRS range, that will make his job of keeping up within the 3 seconds to them both rather easy, and put him on course for a great result. But I think Maxi, is going to be in his way here. Unless he's gonna pass him into Ascari. But even then, Sean and Kuku are well over a second clear already. And yeah, he's gonna pass him into Ascari, but the gap is already up to 2 seconds. And Phantom will follow through. Gabi has caught Bazooka. It might be good to see an overtake as well here. And Pinky now picks up a 3-second time penalty. And they're making Cheeseburger's job rather easy. Everyone who's had a chance of undercutting him, running with a time penalty now. The first car following Cheeseburger, not with a penalty, is either Papdog or Gabri. I'm not sure where Papdog's going to come out in relation to Gabri after the pit stop. But Papdog is 8 seconds back, and Gabri is also quite far back from the lead train. So it's looking very, very good for Cheeseburger to pull off the double, win both the sprint and the main race. Sean has gotten back past Kuka for third. Two Ferraris, I think, just working together, swapping DRS on the straight to get the advantage of the DRS the highest possible. Slowly in the pit lane for the second time now. Looking to go to the end from here. On just the fresh hearts, and of course coming out in last position. A lot of work to do for him to get back to the points. We'll see how it goes for him. If he has enough time to catch back up. If he has enough pace to catch back up as well, of course. Cheeseburger now in the pits on lap 16. And so is Papdog. And it's left the mediums, of course, for Cheeseburger and the same for Papdog. And I'm almost certain that Ferraris will take the lead of the race here. With the undercut they had on Cheeseburger, they should be quite far ahead of him. So there's Cheeseburger out the pit lane, and he's almost hit the wall there with a wobble on exit. And he's going to come out just in front of Pinky, but just outside DRS range to the top two. But with his tyre advantage, he should be able to drive towards it. They also have time penalties hanging over their heads, making it rather difficult for them. Papdog has come out right with Gabri here, which has been re-overtaken by Bazooka. So we have a three-way fight here, two Mercedes against Gabri, battling for P6. Maxi in the pits as well. And the second pit stop for both Yusuf and Ossi. Cheeseburger now staring in the back of Tuco. He caught him rather easily. He's brought Pinky with him. He's also on DRS range. Phantom is just outside it. He's gonna burn everything he has to get into it down the next lane and make this a five-way fight. But everyone fighting with one arm tied against around their back against Cheeseburger, really. Because his tires are so much better. Gabri making a move, Bazooka through Ascari. Kuko re-overtaking Sean for the race, heading to the Parabolica. But I think they're both about to be overtaken by Cheeseburger, who is so close to them. Sean now with DRS is going to re-overtake Kuko, and Cheeseburger will try and get them both if he can. Slipstream older in the straight, he's got Kuko, now pulling out on the outside to get Sean as well. They're side by side heading to the chicane, and oh, that's wing damage for Kuko as he's gone in the back of Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger now with a great exit. So much more traction in that tire, and he gets past Sean despite not even being alongside in the exit. Bazooka in the pit lane for the second time now. And Cheeseburger back in the lead of the race. Two Ferraris in a very tough spot now. Wing damage for Kuko. Time penalties for them both. They've got Pinky and Phantom right behind them. And Cheeseburger ahead with no penalties and a better tire. It's looking very much like Cheeseburger has won this race. I'm sure Sean is going to try everything he can to go against that. But the penalty hanging over his head will make it largely impossible. He has to drive out a 3-second gap. And if anything, it's more likely that Cheeseburger drives out of that gap with the tyre advantage he has. Another time penalty to Yusuf, 3 seconds added to his final race time from multiple track limit warnings. Bazooka now on the back of Floyd in the battle for 11th. The gap that Maxi has to pick, the highest possible finishing result really for all of those guys is P10. Maxi 17 seconds back from the cars ahead. Speaking about it, Bobornio in the pit lane again already. It's only 7 laps on the medium. I guess it's only 8 to go to the end here, so it's actually not even that weird. And it is another medium to go to the end. Gabri has been gapped by Pub Dog, who is on significantly better tires. And will have to settle for 7th. Bobornio comes out between Bazooka and Yusuf here, as Bazooka is looking for a move on Floyd as well into turn 1. And he gets past him. Moves up into P10, gets himself 1 point as it stands. Short is doing a very good job keeping up with Cheeseburger. Not looking like Cheeseburger can break out of the DRS range. And that will make Sean's job defending from the cars behind much easier. It's a real shame about that 3-second time penalty. But I can't even get myself hyped for a fight for the win unless Cheeseburger gets himself a penalty as well. As Sully picks up a penalty. Kuko stopped out of the DRS range to his teammate Sean and Cheeseburger pulling away from the rest of the field. And now Kuko very vulnerable to Pinky, who is not going to waste that opportunity and simply drives past him with ERS down the main straight and up onto the podium. A man on a mission. Pinky's next target is Sean. He's going to catch up to him as well. He needs every point he can get in this championship fight against Gabri. As Pix is disconnected, running in 8th place. Hopefully I can get him back into the lobby as soon as possible. Go, invite sent. He's got 18 seconds to Maxi, so at least he has some time to get back in without losing a place, but of course it does cost him the chance to fight Gabri. Pinky now struggling to keep the ERS to Sean as he's running out of ERS. Sean so close to Cheeseburger now, and that dirty air costs him so much time through Ascari. All of a sudden, Pinky's right back. Phantom with another penalty hanging over his head now, and that will put him behind Publock as it stands. Pix back in the lobby. He's only lost a second or two. We've got a yellow flag at the chicane. Unsure why, no one's moving slowly. And everyone did hold on to DRS range to Sean. Might have a run at Cheeseburger here. No, Cheeseburger has plenty ERS to defend that. But it's for sure possible, at least, that Sean re-overtakes Cheeseburger at least out on track. As the tire seems to be moving back towards his favor. Of course, there's more wear on the medium, so every lap that goes by, the situation gets better for all the hard runners and worse for Cheeseburger. But even at the end, his tires should be better than their hards. Picks in the pit lane for the second time now. And that will put him out of the points for this the moment. As he will come out probably between Bazooka and Yusuf. Maybe even behind Yusuf. Yeah, behind Yusuf. But ahead of Floyd, I think. Yeah, P12 for Pix. So a bit of work to do to get back up to where he was, to that 9th place. As he disconnects again. That will not be helpful whatsoever. Looks like some internet issues from Pix. And a lap after I said that Sean has a chance to actually overtake Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger's locked in and got them almost off the ERS range. Now Sean burning some ERS down the back straight and gets back towards him. Bobornio staring at the back of Maxi. 2-lap tire advantage in favor of Bobornio. And crucially, a 3-second time penalty hanging over Bobornio's head, so he needs to get this move done and drive away by 3 seconds if he wants the position. Maxi covering the inside of the Parabolica. Bobornio doesn't want to go for it, running non-ERS all the way. He knows the detention point is coming up. It would be silly to make a pass here and give Maxi the ERS. But now he makes a pass on the exit, I think, before the detection point. Yep, he's given Maxi the ERS, and that will get Maxi right back past him. Bobornio made the move a bit too early. And Maxi holds on to 8 for at least another lap. Or does he? As Bobornio sends it around the outside. What a move by the Aston Martin, man. Yes! Catches Maxi napping completely. Maxi thought he had him. I thought he had him. But now Maxi with the overtake button engaged Down towards the second chicane, but he gets all loose through the Curva Grande as he dips a tire on the grass, and that almost ended up in a massive accident. It's a very good save, but to even go in the grass like that is quite something. On a corner that's easily flat, he just misjudged his steering inputs, really. Cheeseburger has broken out of the DRS to Sean now, and is once again in control of the race. Sean, therefore, under pressure from Pinky behind. And a battle for 8 heating up between Bombardino, Bazooka and Maxi. And yeah, Sean firmly out of the DRS range to Cheeseburger. The attention turns to the fight for second place between Sean, Pinky and Phantom Kukro. Still within distance, but just outside the DRS range now. He's gonna have to get a move on if he wants to keep being involved, because he has a one-lap tire disadvantage over everybody else. And I'm very interested to see how it goes with these tires over the last couple laps. They are going to be quite worn out. They should make the end, unless they've absolutely shredded them. Pinky fairly close to the back of Sean here. I think we're likely going to see him move down towards turn 1. The gap to Cheeseburger has opened up so much in this last lap, almost 4 seconds now. Hopdog has good hopes as well to beat, is it Phantom? Yeah, Phantom on that 6-second penalty and get himself a top 5 finish here. It's likely these guys battle and Phantom loses time from that. Sean gets overtaken by Pinky heading to turn 1, not much you can do there, the DRS is too strong. And a harsh defense, not quite worth it yet. It's all about that last lap around Monza. It's so easy to make overtakes happen when the car ahead doesn't have DRS to anyone, that there really is no point wasting a battery defending right now. You just have to wait for the last lap and then burn it all to either stay ahead or get ahead. Before that, as long as you stay with them, it's all fair game on the last lap, basically. Hicks re-overtakes Yusuf for P11, makes his comeback drive after those 2 disconnects. Now a 3-second gap to Maxi though. We'll see if he has a chance to get some points in this race. It's going to be tough for sure. And I think Kukro has just about managed to keep DRS to Phantom here. Or has he? He's now losing down the straight as Phantom seems to have some lower wings. And this battle for P2 turning into a 3-way fight as it stands. Pinky, Sean and Phantom. Kukro struggling to keep up. He has gotten DRS for 1 more lap at least, but he's completely empty on the battery. And he will lose all the way down the straight. Sean will not lose all the way down the straight. Pinky doesn't have DRS to anyone, so he's an easy target. There for the taking. And Sean retakes second place in this race. 3 laps to go now. Penalty to Aussie. 3 seconds added to his final race time. That will make his chance of points even lower. Already running in 13th. But now 3 seconds added as well. As Pix is caught up to the back of Maxi. Rather impressive to catch up so quickly like that. Especially because Maxi is not a slow driver whatsoever. I think Pix is a bit too far back this lap. He'll have to go for it next lap. But you can afford to wait. I mean, the gap to Bazooka is over 4 seconds. In the last 2 laps, you're not going to catch up that much time, so you might as well just be patient and take your opportunity with Maxi when it comes to you, rather than trying to force something. The time loss is not that relevant. You could maybe get bombarded on penalties, but that's not worth an all-or-nothing move against another driver. As Yusuf picks up another 3-second time penalties, now up to 9 seconds. 12 seconds. As Pix has gotten past Maxi. And once again, looks like no movement in this top train. All staying put. No one can get close enough. But we've got only 1 more opportunity for them down towards turn 1. And next lap, all of them will be burning all their ERS down that straight to try and get that position for themselves. We saw it already in the sprint. The same will happen again. It is all about that last lap. Until then, it doesn't really matter all that much whether you are behind or ahead of someone. You can re-overtake them on the last lap if need be. As we're heading to that last lap, Cheeseburger, what a drive he's had! What a day he's had! Already the sprint race win from, I believe, 13th on the grid. An almighty job to get through that many cars in such a short amount of time. And now, starting from pole, he's about to head onto the last lap. I had to give him this moment there because now we have to put our attention into this battle for second place because it is very much heating up. One more opportunity for Pinky down towards turn 1. Is he close enough? Sean has way more ERS, and I think that could be the deciding factor here to have Sean hold on against Pinky. And Pinky also 6/10 back out of ERS already as he opens the DRS. That is Sean holding on to P2, and it looks to be all the same down the rest of the train. They're all way too far apart to try and make something happen. But they have got one more lap to go. The best overtaking spot at turn 1 is gone, but there is still another DRS on. There's still that run down towards the Parabolica. This is not over yet. Sean is definitely still under pressure from those three guys behind. He has to keep his foot to the floor and make no mistakes in this lap. Now he can't afford a single one. Otherwise Pinky will be right there to capitalize. Pinky being a bit low on ERS though. Dropped Phantom off ERS, which now means Phantom would be vulnerable to Kuko maybe. Maxi in the pit lane. Pinky definitely too far back, not enough ERS to do anything either. And as we head into the last couple of corners, Cheeseburgers coming around to take his first win in Division 2. His first feature race win anyway. He already won the sprint an hour or so ago. And around the final corner he goes, and like I said earlier, what a drive he has had. A dominant performance to break DRS like that at Monza twice as well in the first stint and the second. And if Weiss goes in line, celebrating the race win here in Monza. Sean brings home a second place finish. Great points gained in the championship fight for him. Pinky in third, also gaining great points. Kuko fourth, a great result for Ferrari, second and fourth. With Phantom bringing the car home in fifth. Pop Dog with a strong result in P6. Gabri with some damage limitation in 7th place, but not the weekend he hoped for at all. A 7th place finish in the sprint, a 7th place finish in the main race. Not what he needed. Sean, Pinky, Cheeseburger all gain loads of points in the championship fight, them being top 3 in this race as well, all of them. Bobodinho comes home in 8th over the line, but Bazooka jumps him with a tractor penalty for Bobodinho, and Bobodinho has 9th in the end. Picks P10 rounds on the last points paying position. Yusuf in 11th, followed by Sully and Ossie. Sully jumps Yusuf on penalties, so does Ossie, so it's Sully 11th, then Ossie, then Yusuf. Floyd in 14th, 12th actually, jumps Ossie and Yusuf. And then Maxi around the final corner, looking to go for fastest lap right at the end here. He needs to beat a 21.1 by Bobodinho, and he is running 39. As he already pit this lap, so he pitted too late. That's that. That was the Monza Grand Prix, a great race that was. A bit quiet towards it actually. I was hoping for a bit more battling in that train, but they couldn't get close enough to each other, unfortunately. But there was some good suspense there. And for the second time this race, the same top 2 as well. It is Cheeseburger followed by Sean. Great points for them both today. And this time it's Pinky on the third step of the podium rather than Phantom. Very strong race from him as well. And Cheeseburger can be very, very happy with himself with that double win today. And this championship fight is far from over. And it's not just one driver who's chasing after Gabri, it's 3 of them. Sean, Pinky, and Cheeseburger, all very much in the hunt against Gabri. Here we have our full race results once more. Already went through them all, or I'll just show them on screen. Yeah. Congratulations to Cheeseburger, congratulations to Sean, congratulations to Pinky on a great result there. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Thank you to the drivers for putting on a good show here in Monza. I hope you enjoyed that, everyone. We've got one more Monza race this Saturday in Division 1, one more sprint race as well there. I'm looking forward to that. Getting to work my way through to work my way through the field, starting from the back as the championship leader in Division 1. And of course, next week we're heading to Miami. Excited for that. Excited to be back with Division 2, back from the Christmas break. I've missed it. Um, so yeah, got nothing left to say. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your evening, and goodbye, everyone.